Yes, Memuna and Zara, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Zara, you were having your exams, or you are currently having your exams?
It's over now.
It's over. So how was
Yeah,
your exam?
it was good.
It was good. Okay. So, did you see the recordings which were missed or anything? Did you catch up?
I'm gonna do it over the weekend.
Okay. So basically, we had started with RMS current, effective current, or virtual current. These are the synonyms for it. RMS current, I have told you that three things are present. Just give me a second, class. Wait. Okay, yeah. So we were studying RMS current. Now, what is RMS current? RMS current and RMS voltage, you'll have to use it a lot. So for the derivation, you should remember that RMS stands for root mean square. Now, RMS is not followed in this order, that root mean square. No. You first calculate the square of the current, I square, then you calculate its mean. So how do you calculate the mean when you have variable quantities? You integrate the total. See, when we calculate the mean or average value, we do like this only. We calculate the total value and divide it by the number of quantities we have. So we find out time, current over the entire time and divide it by the total time, right? I square dt from 0 to t divided by t. And last step is to put the root. Now see, to solve this further and to get the value of this IRMS, what I am going to do, I am going to solve this first. Please open the cameras, Memuna and Zara. I square dt from 0 to t. This is the part that I have to solve first. Okay. What I'll do, I'll solve this part first and then I'll put the other things. I'll put the t back and then this root back and all. Okay. So Zara, for you too. I hope the meeting is on. Yeah, the meeting is already on the focus mode. You'll not be able to see each other. So please follow the instructions. And I hope on every class, you all will follow this command by yourself. I don't have to remind you. It's just for an interaction, nothing else. It's already on focus mode. Even if any new person joins, nobody will be able to see you except. Yeah, so I square dt part, let us solve, because if I'm going to solve everything in this, it is going to be very congested. So you'll not be able to understand. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to solve this part first, that is integral of I square dt from 0 to t. Okay, that's how I'm going to adjust it. Now we know the value of I. I is equal to I naught sine omega t. So this will be I naught square sine square omega t dt. I's value, we have already studied that this is I naught sine omega t. So when you square it, this is going to be it, and 0 to t. That's why I'm not bringing this t also, I'm not bringing this root also. Let us solve this first. Why? Because in this, the integral is a little difficult to remember. See, let's take I square out only. When you are integrating sine square omega t, it will be 1 minus cos. See, for sine, you always have cos in the solving part. 2 omega t, because 2 is in the power. Remember it, learn it for those who do not have mathematics. Because in maths, you will be discussing this in detail with your maths teacher. But in physics, if you do not have maths along with your courses, then simply remember this, that this will be 1 minus cos 2 omega t. Why am I saying to remember it? Because it is used only here. In other places, I've already told the logic how to solve it for differentiation also, for integration also. One more thing, this gets divided by the constant. It is 2. This dt from 0 to t means I have to put in the values also of this. Let's bring this 2 out. So I naught square by 2, this is already out. dt's integral will be t minus. This is not we have not integrated it yet, class. This is an identity. The integration has not been done yet. This is an identity. That's why I'm saying, remember it, sine square omega t is equal to 1 minus cos 2 omega t divided by 2. This is an identity, so it's better if you remember it. Now we'll be integrating it. See, dt's integral is t. So I have written it as t because this will also be multiplied. Okay. Now I have to differentiate this. So for sine, it will become cos, for cos, it will become sine. Okay, Zara, please adjust the camera properly. Memuna has aligned the camera properly. So sine 2 omega t. Okay, 1 minus cos 2 omega t we had. So cos becomes sine, and this is 2 omega t that we have. And obviously in integration, in the last class also, I told you that the constant part which is present in the angle will come in the denominator, omega. So no, sorry, not t, 2 omega, because the constant is 2. I'm repeating this. Understand this first from 0 to t, because now the steps after this are this is very easy. Listen carefully, put your pens down and just understand properly. See, I square dt, integral of I square dt from 0 to t, I am integrating. Whatever rest of the quantities are present, under root is also there, 1t is also there. For the root means square speed, not speed, root means square current. I'm not calculating it. I'll calculate it later. Let me find what is there in the score integral of 0 to t, I square dt. We know the formula of current as I is equal to I naught sine omega t. We have been using this formula, E is equal to E naught sine omega t, and I is equal to I naught sine omega t. That's what I have substituted. So if it is I square, these will also be squared up, sine square omega t. I naught square will be there. That is what is kept till here. Now, I naught square is taken out. It's just taken aside. It is kept aside. And sine square omega t, this is an identity which we have substituted so that our calculations are a little clear. If you have a shorter quantity, it is difficult to apply it in definite integrals. But when you have a little broad amount of quantities, you can further integrate it. In integration, you want to expand things, so you need quantities. So this is 1 minus cos 2 omega t by 2 dt. Now we have to integrate all this. After this step, we have to integrate it. I naught square by 2, this is not needed for our integration. We have 1 minus cos 2 omega t to integrate. 1 minus cos 2 omega t. Now dt is multiplied here and dt is multiplied here. Both the things. That's how we integrate. How do we integrate? X square dx. This is how we write. T to the power 3 dt. This is how we write. So similarly, this term dt was there. So 1 was multiplied to dt And this term was also multiplied to dt. Why? Because dt is there when you are integrating, when you're differentiating. In all of these, you have not instantaneous, infinitesimal values of t. So integral of dt is left here. So how it is like? It is like integral of dt minus cos 2 omega t integral of dt, like this. From 0 to t, this is also from 0 to t. This step is actually like this. Okay. Now what we are doing? We are solving this part first. That is, integral of dt will give us t. Done. Now next we are solving this part. So when you have sine, you are integrating it, you will get sine 2 omega t, and the constant term comes in the denominator. Now from 0 to t. Tell me both of you, this step, till this step, it's clear to both of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Now, let us simplify this further. Just understand properly, you'll be able to write it yourself. See, I naught square by 2 is already here. Okay. Let's put the, how do you integrate x to the power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1 from 0 to x, anything? How do we integrate after this integration step? We put the limits, upper limit minus lower limit. That's how we put. So let's put the upper limit first. So instead of this t, we'll have capital T. Okay. Minus 1 by 2 omega is already a constant. And here we will have sine 2 omega t. Yeah, we have to, here also we have to put 0 to t. This I have put t minus 0. This also has to be put. I'm not doing it in the same step so that you know you can focus on this first and this. Why did I write t? Because when you integrate t from 0 to t, you get t minus 0, which is equal to t. That's why. Okay, that's why I've written this. Now this is left. I didn't integrate at this step. So what do I have now? I naught square by 2. T minus 1 by 2 omega is already here. Sine 2 omega. Class, when you are having time here, why to write omega? It will just complicate your answer. You will be again stuck with sine 2 omega capital T minus sine 2 omega into 0. Will it give you any answer? No. So there's a relation of angular frequency with time period. Do you remember it? Omega with time period. Any relation which you can recall? Anyone? Omega and time period.
2 pi something it was.
Yeah. Very good, Zara. It is 2 pi by t. Okay.
Yeah. 2 pi
This
by
is
t.
omega is equal to 2 pi by t. So if we already have this relation, so why to get stuck with this omega here? Let's put it. Omega will be 2 pi by capital T. Now we can put the value. Okay, let me wait for that step. Let me wait. 0 to capital T. Let's go step by step. So instead of writing it as like this, let me clearly write this as 4. 2 multiplied by 2, I can write this as 4. Now I'm going to put in the upper limit and lower limit here. Okay, this is clear. I've just substituted this value, I've changed it. So if we put all these values, see, this is I naught square by 2. Here we have t minus 1 by 2 omega sine 4 pi. Okay. So here at this step, this will be 4 pi by t. First, I'll put capital T. right? Minus sine 4 pi by t into 0. So I've put the upper limit first. You just replace the variables. You always replace the variables, not the constant term. 4 pi by t is present, you don't replace it. Your variable is small t. So you will replace it with the upper limit first, then the lower limit. Now tt gets cancelled. Sine 4 pi is 0. Sine 0 is also 0. So this term is entirely 0. And since this is getting multiplied to it, this entire term will also be 0. So entire calculation simplifies very much further. What were we calculating? We were calculating I square dt from 0 to t. So we have got our answer. It is I naught square capital T by 2. Let's put it in our IRMS formula. Now at least we can put it. IRMS is equal to root of I naught square dt from 0 to t by t. This part we have solved and we have got it as I naught square t by 2. This capital T is present and root. Root means square. So square means root. That's how we solve. Time gets cancelled. IRMS is equal to, see, this is I naught. This is root 2. I naught by root 2. Same derivation I'm not going to do, but if it comes in your exam, same derivation you have for ERMS. That will be E naught by root 2. And what are these E naught and I naught? I naught is the maximum value of current. Maximum value of current, or you can say peak current. This I have told you also initially. Or amplitude. Amplitude means the maximum value. Here also same thing is for the off voltage or EMF. Same thing. That's it. This is very important to deal with. This derivation also comes in the exam to write. So write down these derivations, then we'll start with the next fresh topic. Write it, class. If you have any queries in between, you can ask. Okay, and now the next topic is phasors. So that completes with the first part of alternating current, which was about AC dynamo and all the equations related to current. Now we'll be talking about phasors and individual circuits, means circuits which have only resistors, circuits which have only inductors, circuits which have only capacitors. So when we'll be talking about one proper single circuit, that time no other device will be included, that we'll see. But there is one very important quantity that comes into action when we are studying the circuits, individual circuits. The topic is phasor and phasor diagram. Phasors are basically, see, current is a scalar quantity, potential is a scalar quantity. But if you have to compare it, if you have to compare it, then how can you represent it? If I just ask you, without, don't explain me anything, just make a figure so that I understand that whether the voltage is greater or current is greater. So what you can do, you can make a circle, make a quadrant like this, like this, quadrant like this. And then if you draw the current somewhere and the voltage somewhere, that will easily tell me whether the current is ahead or the voltage is ahead. Basically, there's a phase difference between these quantities which you have to understand. Phase difference means the angle between the waves. If a wave is starting from origin and a wave is starting from midpoint, so there is a difference between these waves. See, if I say a wave is starting like this and one wave is there which is starting like this. So this is when this is starting, when this wave is starting from the origin, this has already covered 90 degrees. So we say the phase difference means that if you overlap the waves, what is the angle that we are getting? We are getting the angle as pi by 2 or 90 degree. This means this is the phase difference. Phase difference means in which phase one wave is there and in which phase the other wave is there, and then the differences between the two. Means you take one wave and you take one more wave and then you coincide them. So when you will be coinciding it, some of the angle will be present that will be extra if they are not in the same phase. If they have no phase difference, then only they'll be overlapping. If the waves are in some other angles, then if you overlap the waves, there will be some extra angle. That extra angle which is present is known as the phase difference. Now, to represent this with a proper figure of a circle and its quadrant, we use the concept of phasor diagrams. So we say that these currents and these voltages, they are also vectors for us just to represent it, because vectors have direction. And if I say current is ahead of voltage, it means I'm giving a direction. So directions are not present in scalar quantities. That's why we use a concept of phasors. Phasors means they are rotating vectors. They cannot be solved directly. That we'll discuss later. So a rotating vector that represents a sinusoidally varying quantity. What are the sinusoidally varying quantity? The sinusoidally varying quantities are the currents and the voltages. So now we say these currents, these voltages, these are the phasors, means they are the rotating vectors that are representing the sinusoidally variation. Means the wave that we draw, that are represented through a diagram. The quantities are called phasors and the figure, the diagram, the drawing is called the phasor diagram. Okay, current and voltage are the phasors. Means they are the rotating vectors. They are not vectors actually, just to represent it so as to make our figures and make our circuits easy, we use phasors and phasor diagrams. So a diagram that represents alternating current and voltage of same frequency as that of the rotating vectors means phasors, along with the proper phase angle between them. This means, see, I have this quadrant present. I have drawn the current here, maximum value of current. I have drawn here the maximum value of EMF. They have this phase angle between them. This is the phase angle between them. So this is actually the phase difference. This is the phase angle or the phase difference. This is what is meant by a phase difference. See, they are not overlapping. There are possibilities when if I draw this and the current is also here. Let's say the magnitude is different, but the direction and the phase is exactly the same. So current is also here, voltage is also here. So no phase. No phase difference means they are in the same phase. Or you can say they are in the same phase. Like if I coincide it, no extra quantity will be left. It will be coincided properly. Now this will be clear with the help of these circuits. First you write down these two. Then I'll start with AC circuits having only resistors. Okay, one numerical from this. So then we'll move on to circuits having only resistors. Once this question is clear, then we'll be able to understand the next part. Just try write it. I'll discuss it. Just write once. Okay, see, let's discuss this question. It is given the value of EMF E is equal to 140 sine 300 t. Okay, class. Now, whenever you have any equation, full equation is written, the best method to solve is that you just write down the original equation. You know what's the original equation? E naught sine omega t. Just write it. So when you write the original equation, E naught sine omega t, because in most of the cases it is given in a manner where you can relate both the equations. Now see, instead of E naught, 140 is mentioned. So E naught is equal to 140. Omega, 300. Omega is equal to 300. Like this. So you see these two and these two. They are exactly the same quantities which are replaced. So the first question is peak value of the voltage. Peak value of voltage means E naught. So we have got it. E naught, it is already mentioned that this is equal to 140 volts, like this. Second is its ERMS value. Now class, ERMS's value, we have just done a relation. Stop writing, just listen first. In the second, in the derivation which we have just done before these phasors part was that we've seen the relation of ERMS with E naught. It was E naught by root 2. So now we have E naught, we want ERMS. So this will be simply 140 divided by root 2. See class, 140 by root 2, it's very easy to solve because root 2 is also 1.414 something. So this will be around 100, around 100 volts. Last part is also there. Frequency of the supply. See, frequency is not given, means when only frequency is given, it means the linear frequency. For angular frequency, it will always specify. Now, we have only angular frequency. Do you know the relationship between the linear frequency and angular frequency? Class 11th, it was there.
2 pi V is equal to omega.
Dara remembers till 2 pi, whichever formula is it.
No, 2
2
pi
pi,
V.
2 pi nu, that is not V. V will be velocity, okay? Nu, that the symbol which you're referring as V, that is called as nu, which is the linear frequency. Correct, Zara? Formula is right. So this time the formula was completed. So this is 2 pi and this symbol is nu, means the linear frequency, okay? And we want the linear frequency, so it is omega divided by 2 pi. These little formulas, please remember and just make a box so that you can remember it further also. Because see, these are actually a part of your class 11, but they'll be utilized throughout. Even in your semiconductors chapter, you'll be having the entire current electricity with you. So anyways, this is 300 by 2 pi, which is equal to 150 by pi hertz. Okay. Now let us come to AC circuits having only resistors. You'll be able to relate it better. First, write down the solution. Take your time. Then we'll start with the circuits one. Now let's start with AC circuit containing only resistor. Now no inductor, no capacitor, no other device, only resistor is present. You have to remember these details after which the conclusion which I'll tell you. See, in this E is equal to E naught sine omega t. That's the difference. Here you have the AC dynamo, which is converting the mechanical energy to the electrical energy and producing alternating current, right? You don't have the battery and the wire and the switch system. If that is present, it means it's your DC current. Right now, this is your AC current. So that's why this symbol should be enough to make you understand that this is representing alternating current. Because see, right now we are studying AC, so every question will be based on AC. But in the exam, mixed questions come, and many a times only the circuits come. And you have circuits from all the chapters, from your current electricity, from your inductance also, from your capacitance also. Here, series, LCR, and lots of circuits are there. Okay, even in EM waves also there are circuits. Semiconductors also there are circuits. Just in your optics unit and your modern physics unit, you do not have. Otherwise, everywhere you have the circuit. So identified properly. Now we'll start with Ohm's law. Ohm's law is this is the easiest one of all the three that we'll be doing. I think we won't be able to complete it today. But V is equal to IR class. This is what? This is which law?
Ohm's law.
Ohm's law. This is Ohm's law. Okay. Now, V, or we can write it as E also, and E's value is E naught sine omega t is equal to IR. So, what is I equal to? I naught. Or instead of I naught, let's say I. Here it is I. I is equal to E naught sine omega t divided by R. Class, remember one thing. IRMS will be ERMS by resistance. Same Ohm's law pattern. If we are talking about I naught, it will be E naught by R. If it is simple current, it is V by R. Same pattern everywhere. So right now, if you see this, E naught by R is what? It is I naught. Now what are we getting? We are getting I is equal to I naught sine omega t. E is equal to E naught sine omega t. I is equal to I naught sine omega t. Will there be any difference? Will there be any difference in the phases? Nothing. Both are exactly in the same phase. See, I is equal to I naught sine omega t. E is equal to E naught sine omega t. Can you see any addition of angle anywhere? Same exact equations means that's why I was saying this is the easiest case. Both are in the same phase. The current and voltage are in the same phase. So how to represent it graphically and with the help of phases. And these should be remembered by you, class. In the next class, I'm going to ask you questions and then I'm going to begin the class. Current and voltage are in the same phase. Okay, remember this. This is very important for your alternating current. Look, this is starting from the origin, EMF, the blue one. And look at the red one. This is also starting from the origin. Angle is not different. See, I have overlapped the wave. Can you see any angle? No. But what can you see which might come into your mind that there's a gapping. If this gapping is there, it means they are not in the same phase. No. Phase means the angle. This angle, the overlapping here. The angle is 0 between them. They are exactly overlapping. This shows the magnitudes difference. The angle between the waves are the same. The angle is the same between the waves. But is it necessary value of EMF and current will also be the same? ये तो जरूरी नहीं है. Current की value भी अलग हो सकती है. EMF की भी value अलग हो सकती है. Phase means the angle, right? So if let's say if EMF is greater, looking greater like this, it means its magnitude zyada hai. The magnitude of EMF is greater than the magnitude of current. If I make current like this and EMF like this, that will just depict its magnitude. And right now we are not concerned with the magnitude. We are talking about the phase. Phase means the angles between the wave. That is the same. the wave, the angle, if I say this is 60 degree, and if I say same thing, this is 60 degree. So this 60 degree is greater or this 60 degree is greater? Nothing is greater. Both are the same. It's just that the magnitude is different. One magnitude is big, one magnitude must be small, like this. So this is the case. Similarly, if you plot it on the phasor diagram, which I was mentioning you, this is how you represent. Now, by just looking at the phasor, when you are even revising for your final exams, it should be clear to you that while just looking at the phasor diagram and the final answer, you should be able to recall everything, that yes, which is leading what, are they in the same phase, like this. So they are exactly overlapping, same phase, with omega t is from the reference. This is the baseline. Okay, there is no angle between them. And again, this is just showing the gapping in the magnitude. As an example, that I've just taken a random data and I've just made a random graph. If you get a value, if you get the value of current greater, plotted greater. If you get then the magnitude is also the same. So exact two waves will be coinciding. Tell me, Zara and Memuna, is it clear till here, this topic?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Write it and revise it. See, AC is not very difficult chapter, but if you do not revise it, it becomes confusing. This is what is the feedback of most of the students. And if you have any tests upcoming, please class, keep on updating. There are students in the batches who have just told yesterday that they have a test on Monday. So I had to take their extra class immediately on an urgent basis. And that too, I could arrange it today. So we had the class. But it's not possible that every time whenever you say the classes can be arranged. So keep on telling me prior, because your school exams are also equally important. You have to score there as well. Though our target is board exams, but these small school exams and the tests of LearnyView, everything is important for you, right? So if you have any test and anything, please keep on updating. Okay, you can write now. Please write.
I have UT3 on 20 October.
20th, what's the syllabus, Zara?
Ray optics.
Okay, Memona also, I think, is having ray optics. Memona, you saying something?
Both are in same school.
You both are in the same school.
I have on 20 only. Physics.
Okay, Memuna, Zara, you both are in the same school.
I am in ISR.
Yeah, I
Oh.
guess we are. I didn't know earlier.
You don't know?
You're in Alalia?
No, I am in ISR only, but I didn't know earlier that you were in ISR too.
Okay, anyways, the conclusion is that both of you have exam of ray optics on 20th October, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then. So only ray optics for both of you?
Yes.
They decided same school or different school?
Same school.
Same school.
Okay. Okay, then I'll arrange the classes for ray optics only. Then we should start with ray optics.
Yeah.
Zara, you should have informed me before. Memuna has informed me. But because you were not joining the classes, that's why I was not starting her classes.
No, today only the circular came out that it's on 20th October. Earlier it was like it's
Okay.
gonna be like
Then
October.
I'll
So.
prefer to start ray optics and take your extra classes for ray optics. 20th October is the date, no?
Yeah,
Okay
ma'am.
then. Okay. I'll just note it. Memuna, you have not submitted a single homework. Like I can see Zara's homework, but not recent electric charges and field. After that, Zara, you have also not submitted.
I don't know what the homework is because I've been trying to open the. There is no.
Okay, Memuna, I'll just tell the team to operations team to contact you once because I was waiting for both of your assignment. Rest of the students of class 12th have been submitting. And yes, Zara.
Yes, ma'am, I'm going to start doing it. Actually, I was doing it earlier regularly and then I stopped, so it accumulated and then school homeworks and stuff, so I was not able to.
Okay, I understand, Zara, but these assignments are also important, no? Because I just give hardly 1, 2, 3 questions maximum. Sometimes, even if 5 questions are there, the questions aren't lengthy enough. So just attempt it so that we can discuss it at least. We can have a discussion in the class. We can see your doubts if you're not understanding any question. And even apart from that, if you have any doubts, not just for Zara, for Memuna also, you both can update us. Just tell the team, okay, I am not available for your contact, but the operations team, the